No, we're good. Josh, we're live. We're ready.
We're live already.
We're
Let's let's
kicking.
let's do this.
Alex has thrown us into the room.
I like it.
Okay, so we've got this roadcaster here, and I think we're going to get some sound effects. So you know the sound effect tape where he says "haram."
Yeah, like dropping bombs with Bradley.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh God. You know, I used to watch Bradley for years. I used to see him like on YouTube, and I used to always think, is this guy legit? He's like saying he does all this stuff. I don't know what it was. You know, maybe like me just being a skeptic, but I used to listen to him and think, is this legit?
Yeah. I like Bradley. So I like those. I like those laid back rich dudes who just they just don't care. I
Yeah.
like it.
That's why because I thought, is he putting this persona on? But it turns out when you watch him for a little bit, that is him.
Yeah, he's just kind of past that wealth where he just doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, I have watched his sales training, a few of him. The one or two clips that I've watched, I didn't think, oh, that's my type of sales trainer. And I've seen that they're doing an event in Dubai. You know, Andy Elliott and Bradley. Have you seen? No, just Andy Elliott. It's just Andy Elliott in Dubai.
Yeah. Again, it goes back to our conversation, I think, last week where we spoke about American selling. I think Bradley comes from that traditional sort of car salesman in the States. So, like, very, very different, very different.
It is, isn't it? You know, the car salesman in the UK, you would just get laughed at if you sold them.
Yeah, I'm trying to think when I bought a Jaguar back in when was that? I'm not really. I don't actually own a car at the moment. The way that he actually sold to me, it was just all about the specifications. There was no real like emotion or enthusiasm or even energy. It was almost like just reading off the specs list, if that makes sense. It's very, very different to what you see over in the States.
Yeah, very different. And you know, Alex, now that he's in the office, he can see us selling. He saw me take a call yesterday, and I had a YouTube video that's gone up 2 or 3 days ago, and it's literally, my channel had no subscribers. It had like 80 or 90 subscribers, and it's gone from 89 subscribers to 450.
Awesome.
And right now it's growing, and
Yeah.
the video's got like 7,000 or 8,000 views so far. Just off that one video, like when it was around 3,000 or 4,000, I thought, you know what, I'll put a link in there for someone to be able to book a call. Got 2 calls from that one video.
Amazing.
And you know, the power of YouTube is just ridiculous, because one of those calls, one wasn't qualified, so I cancelled, and I sent him an email. And the second one, I called him on a triage call because he booked for next week, and I said, what made you book? And instantly just sold something to him on the phone then.
Yes.
And then he ended up buying some consulting from us. But when he said, everyone says, oh, I started making YouTube videos and I made content. But you know when you have such a small channel and then someone tells you, yeah, I just watched your video and I'm really interested in you helping me, off one video.
Yeah.
One video. Obviously, normally it's way longer.
Yeah,
And
cool.
then he gives you money straight away on the phone. It just feels like a superpower.
Yeah. Well, it's because the comparison is you've got short form content, so people are only seeing short, sharp, like snappy piece of you. Whereas with YouTube, they can actually see you have an actual conversation. They can actually see your personality. They can actually see you for who you actually are. I always say this, like, how many YouTubers have you been watching for years and you feel like you know them personally? Because they are obviously putting out that long form content. So yeah, it's powerful. It's something that I'm slowly getting into as well.
Yeah, I'm eager for, obviously you should be repurposing this for your YouTube, but
Of course.
I think YouTube is better for us. The reason why is, do you know if you're more driven on value and not clickbait?
Yes.
So shorts, I've never gone viral, ever. And I think the main reason why I've never gone viral is because the format of doing things, the way it makes it watchable and clickable, it has to be compelling but also controversial. And the way I talk is way more consultative rather than just pure statements.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's why I think maybe I'm yet to figure out what would go right for me on shorts, but I've not figured it out yet.
Yeah, yeah. Well, when you're so used to taking calls with clients or like having those consult calls, like you said, that's your skill set and that's your strength of relaying information and getting that information out. I'm exactly the same. Shorts, I'm terrible, absolutely terrible at condensing my point into such a short space of time and thinking about, okay, how can I actually grab a lot more attention? How can I really like get this in front of eyeballs and make them stop and actually watch this? It's just not my character. So YouTube's definitely going to be a strong point of mine as well.
Yeah, I think so. I think YouTube would be a benefit, and what Alex can do is just share everything that we're doing, which we can even just talk about here. Like the main things that we're doing is we think of not going wide and making broad videos. So like I can easily make a video right now to say how to make your first 10K, or I can look at trending videos as a whole within business and make that video. That will get me a lot of views. And like we have a mutual friend who's actually just making the most attempt at viral content. Let me just put a car name, let me just put a celebrity name, get whatever.
Yeah.
The format that I want to go for, I want to be well known rather than, I want to be known well rather than well known, which means known well is I don't have millions of followers. I may do. I don't have millions, but it's more about all of those people are actually my ideal customer. And you understand the concept of your avatar and ideal customer because you've helped hundreds of people with it. The main thing that I want to do is I want to just make content for my avatar. So what I did is I thought I helped sales teams and I helped sales founders with their businesses. The first mistake that I made was I was making content which was around sales tactics because I saw everyone else making sales tactics videos and I was like, I'll teach you how to sell.
Yeah.
But then I started to attract people who wanted to learn how to sell. And I thought, I'm doing this wrong. I'm supposed to make content for my avatar.
Yeah.
So I then solely thought about my avatar and the pain points. And the pain points are, how do I recruit? How do I build a sales team? How do I manage a sales team? How do I give the sales tactics to my sales team?
Yes.
And also, I need some content for sales so they can give them onto a sales team. But it's all given to the founder who's trying to get to 10 million a year with his business.
Yes.
So all of my content now is like, we've just made a video, 23 points that you need to be able to onboard your new sales rep, and going through an entire checklist of everything to onboard your sales rep and literally giving them the document for that.
Love that.
In the video as well. So it's like super high quality and value for that person.
Yes, yeah, no, completely agree. I've actually got, funny enough, a conversation I was having last night. I've got a friend actually staying with me in Marbella, and he works with fitness coaches. And he was discussing the fact that a lot of fitness coaches, they tend to do a lot of copying, do a lot of reproducing of other people's content and forgetting about exactly who they're actually trying to target, and then questioning why they're actually not seeing a return from the content that they're actually putting out there. And it's because they're not talking to the right type of person ongoing over and over and over again. They're just trying to get viral. Whereas you can have, the perfect analogy I always talk about is those women online who show off their bodies and then they try and release like a booty program or whatever, and they get no sales because it's the wrong type of audience. So I don't think, yes, obviously following and really growing in the right way is going to be beneficial if you do it the right way. But it's not everything. It's not everything.
Yeah, and it isn't everything. And one of like my main values that I'm trying to have is radical honesty. And last year, I can think back to November or December, I saw there was a fitness coach, a fitness consultant. His name's Ollie Carson. I don't know him. And he was making content with like AI images. And I thought, this looks amazing. I've not seen this before. Let me give that image to my video editor or graphics designer and say, can you do me these? And then only after he did them for me and I saw them, I thought, you know what? I'm copying here. Why am I doing that? What I've done is just seen somebody else's content. I thought it looked good and I thought it was creative and just had to copy it. But what the mistake was, by me copying, I'm not targeting towards my avatar. My avatar's not his. The reason why I copied it, I'm not an originator. I'm just, what am I going to do when he realizes it doesn't work? So I don't even know why he did it in the first place. And then I had to check myself. And now I've just gone down the route of just making content that I things that I know about, which has turned out to get me a lot more YouTube videos and not enough short form views right now.
Yeah, 100%. I think we all go through it as well. I mean, I've gone through it before where I've seen somebody do something and I'm like, oh, that's cool. I'll try and go down that angle. And it's like for me now, even my dress sense, I'm back to how I like to dress, like just plain fitted black t-shirt.
Who are you wearing today? Give us a fit. Who are you wearing?
Give us a fit. I've just got a plain black t-shirt. I actually only own Abercrombie t-shirts because they fit me the best and I fucking like them. And I rock my Converse every day, and that's the way I like to dress. But you are right. You do get very influenced sometimes from time to time, especially when you're trying to build and you're trying to find your sort of route. And I've been there, I've got distracted, I've gone down this route. But I think over time you just take all of those as lessons and just align yourself with who you want to work with, what you want to do, and like you said, what you want to be known for.
Yeah. I'm going to give you some fashion tips to the viewers.
Fashion tips.
Because obviously I know all about fashion.
This should be one of those things where your button presses and then you get an intro screen. Husband's fashion tips.
Let me give you the fashion 101. There's a time in every man's life when he goes from shopping at Zara, he's buying everything from Zara, 30, 40 pound t-shirts or however much they are now. And then you see Reese. And you see Reese the first time and you think, you know what? That's 2.5 times the price. I don't know if I could do it. You look and you think, not yet. And then eventually you think, you know what, I can afford it now. Then you level up to Reese. Now you look at Zara and you think peasant. You're shopping at Zara. That's like, I remember when I was struggling back in the day and going to Zara. Obviously, some people start right at the bottom like I did at Primark. That's where like level 1. Level 2 is Zara. Level 3 is Reese. Obviously, I don't know anything about brands and logos, so I can't talk anything about brands. But Reese, and then there's just one level above Reese when you go into Suit Supply. Because when you go into the shop at Suit Supply, they walk you in. This is my first experience. I spent $1,000 the first time I went in. So I went into Suit Supply, and they said to me, like, what are you here for? Like, what do you need? We're just going to assign someone to you. Someone will be right with you. You get a personal shopper assigned to you when you walk into the shop. I don't know, have you been, Alex?
I've not been to Suit Supply, no. I've been... No, but not been but similar experience to what you told.
Well, I'm going to take you to get robbed when you come to London. So we're going to go to Suit Supply, and you walk in, and instantly they're like, you know, we're going to assign someone to you. The guy comes out. He's instantly your best friend. These guys are trained ninjas.
Yeah.
I was like, this guy, he's my best friend already. I want to please him. I want to make this guy happy. Just, what do you want me to do?
Yeah.
He's asked me what I'm looking for, what my fashion style is, and I just said to him, I'm not very fashionable. Can you just help dress me? Just give me some styles. He bought out all these clothes, fits, and obviously what they do that's really smart and how they sell to you. This is the tactic, because we expect them to say, oh, everything looks good. But what they actually do is say, I don't think that looks good on you, building the trust for the next thing. When they say that thing looks good on you, then you believe them.
Yeah.
So he was already honest with me. The first 2 or 3 things that I tried on, he was like, nah, that's not good for you, that's not good for you. Got my trust up.
Yes.
Then he's like, this t-shirt's good for you. You know how much I spent? I spent like $1,000 on like 7 t-shirts, 7 polo tops. I bought a pair of trousers for 180 quid. I'm used to buying £25 Zara trousers.
Yeah.
And spending 180 quid on a pair of trousers. But you know what? The clothes are nice. They fit nice.
Yeah.
And it is that thing where no one was complimenting my Zara t-shirts, but everyone was telling me this Suit Supply stuff's really nice.
Yeah. I think you've got to, when it comes to fashion, I've done it where I've actually gone full circle. So I'm now dressing how I used to dress. Okay, so I now every single day, like plain either black or white t-shirt, easy, swim shorts and Converse. Okay, I wear swim shorts all day. I train in them. I jump in the pool in them. I go for a walk in them. I sit here and do Zoom calls in them. Like, I just wear swim shorts all day. And I went back to that because I went down that route of buying watches, buying tailored shirts. I'd tailor my shirts like specific to my measurements, trousers, whatnot. And yes, I would look good and I would feel good, but it just wasn't me. It just wasn't me. I didn't necessarily feel that comfortable internally. And I've actually gone full circle now. And the time that I've actually saved by walking in my wardrobe and just having t-shirts, swim shorts, Converse, I get ready like that every single day now. It's just saved me so much time.
I've got to tell you a book that I've recently, I've only just watched 2 or 3 interviews about the book, so I'm going to be ordering it because I think it's just coming out today or tomorrow. It's by Andrew Wilkinson. Do you know who he is?
I don't know who he is, no.
Andrew Wilkinson is a billionaire, and he owns a portfolio of companies, a holding co, which is called Tiny, and they buy up little companies and they invest in them. And he talks about how he's done cars, watches, and everything, but that isn't what made him happy. And in his book, I think it's the subtitle is From Barista to Billionaire, and the insightfulness that he has is incredible. And then, so I went down this path of listening to him on multiple podcasts, My First Million, then he went to Ali Abdal's podcast. I listened to it, so I'll make sure I'll share it with you later. And I thought, this guy's like really wise. The way he talks about things is not like, this is why you need money, this is what you need to do. So it was really wise. And then I listened to other billionaires, and then obviously we've all listened to Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk, and the trend that I've actually realized from a lot of billionaires is they don't let their emotions get in the way of logical decisions. For example, let me give you one emotional thing that I've had. I was supposed to run ads last year, but why did I not run ads? You know, one thing was, oh, I'm not good at copy, I'm not good at landing pages, I'm not good at this, I'm not good at like writing copy, or I'm not good at email writing because I never was good at school at writing. All these emotions came up and stopped me from doing all these things a year ago. And most people never check themselves and aren't self-aware enough to even get past and do them. And now, like, we've got ads going live, and I know, like, we've got an incredible setup because I've educated myself properly. But procrastination is down to normally avoiding an emotion, and the emotion that I was avoiding was, oh, I don't want to be shit at it. But then I realized you have to be shit at it to be able to get good at it.
Yeah, exactly. Do you meditate?
I can give you a story about me trying to meditate.
Okay,
but,
let's start there. Let's start there.
Okay. So I never meditated before, and I went to a yoga class once. I think it was like in Virgin Active Gym, and they did a meditation. And I thought, wow, this is shit. This is boring. I'm about to die here. So then, you know what? Then I went through in like 2021, 2022. I thought, you know what? Maybe I'm going to be a bit of a hippie. I started not wearing shoes as much. Started wearing some Vibrams. Started thinking about spreading my toes on the ground.
Yeah.
And then I went over to Phuket, and that's where I had the sports rehab clinics. And I went to Phuket, and in Phuket there was a Phuket meditation center. So I thought, you know what, I want to go and learn how to meditate. I was like, because in Thailand you turn into a hippie, you start wearing baggy trousers with elephants on them, and then I went into this Phuket meditation center, and this guy sits me down. He's like, right, okay, just take a seat. And he started the meditation. He started talking, and he just was like talking about breathing and what you should do. It was a really good experience, but I sat there for 2 hours thinking about my day, thinking about what's going to happen tomorrow, thinking about what I'm going to do next week. My mind was so busy doing everything else. And after the meditation, he said to me, this is the lesson. He said to me, like, how was that? Was that really good? And I was honest. I said, oh, I thought I was going to like be set free in my head. I thought I can observe my thoughts like you were saying, but it never really happened for me. I was thinking about my day. He was like, so why did you come here today? I said, to be honest with you, I'm pretty happy all the time. I've got no reason not to be happy. My life's pretty good. I'm quite optimistic naturally. And I just came in just to like see if this is any good for me. He was like, okay, so can you tell me all the things that make you happy? And I went, well, I listed out friends, family, work. I said, just working. I like doing my thing, focused on work. He said, if I took away all those things, are you happy? And I said, well, no, because you've taken them things away. He said, the sun shines all the time. Sometimes there's clouds in the way of the sun, but the sun still shines. And your happiness should always be there like the sun. It just happens that situations happen, clouds get in the way. So you shouldn't need anything in your life to be able to be happy. You should be happy in a room with nothing in it, without any possessions. And he mentioned how the man who can't be beat is a man who has nothing in a room and is happy.
Yes.
And that's an unbeatable man.
Yeah.
And then I thought, wow, I didn't meditate. That wasn't right for me. It didn't work. But the lessons that I got from that meditation were incredible.
Yeah. I was exactly the same. The reason I was laughing at that at the start as well is because that's what I thought meditation was. I thought meditation was I'd have to shave my head bald. I'd have to sit there with my legs crossed and do this. And that was my perception of meditation. So I never really took it seriously. Even when people would talk about it, I'd be like, nah, like, shut up, like, I don't know, you're talking rubbish. But it was only when I had a really good friend with a really good chat with a friend of mine called Dr. Ed. He's a really good guy if you're not connected before. And he taught me about the zooming out meditation. I think there's a different name for it, but he explained it as zooming out because it helped me understand. Now, I'm naturally a massive overthinker in my head. I'll never show it, but I'll play out every single scenario that could potentially happen every time I take an action. And I played that in my head. And he helped me out in regards to actually sitting there and helping me zoom out and actually thinking about perspective of life. So what I mean by zooming out, actually sit there with no technology, complete disconnect, no other human beings around you, and like close your eyes and actually look at yourself from outside of the box. So almost think about looking at yourself, okay? And then as soon as you've been able to actually do that and think, you might be like sat down, or you might be in the pool, or whatever you're doing. I'll look at myself from outside, and then I'll zoom out. I'll look at myself from the sky looking down, and then I'll zoom out and I'll look at myself as looking at the planet Earth, and then I'll zoom right out and I'll look at myself from further and further and further away. And what that allows you to actually do is just realize how insignificant most things actually are. Like all of the things that you actually stress about, all of the procrastination that you might do, all of the things you might worry about, all of the if but maybes living in the interim, all of those things just completely get diminished because you realize you're just lucky to be a grain of sand on earth, essentially, by actually zooming right out. And it's the only form of meditation that I've really got to grasp with, because it's kind of removed all of that overthinking that I typically have on a day-to-day basis.
Wow, that's incredible. And then you just realize you're just a speckle. You're just literally nothing.
That's it.
And then when you realize you're nothing, your problems are nothing.
Exactly. I mean, you're having a conversation right now. It's a gift. It's a blessing. It's great to be here on this fine Wednesday morning, just having a chat with you, my friend.
Well, it's a weekly thing now, so it happens without any thought at all.
That's it.
So I've got something here that I just want to ask you about. Mm-hmm. So
momentum.
This journal, and I kind of want you to coach me through how the best way is to use it.
Yeah.
So I've never journaled before. I've tried to journal and never truly done it. So when I open this up, obviously the main reason what I want to do this journal, so thank you for sending this out.
Of course.
Incredible. Even got your signature in it, so thank you.
Of course.
I want to try to use it, and I want to try to do it the right way.
Yeah.
So you've got is there a video? Is this a video where how to do it, where you do the QR code?
Yeah, so there's a community as well with additional courses that can help you through it. But the main purpose behind the Momentum Journal is because I've tried to journal before and never done it because there's too much fluff, there's too much spiritualness, and the whole purpose behind the Momentum Journal is for people who are stagnant and they actually want to get some actionable momentum behind them, actionable steps, and actually start seeing progress instead of just talking about everything. I actually want to see people make steps forward every single day. So that's why I've removed a lot of the fluff. Okay. So the whole purpose behind it is across 90 days, what are your values? What is your mission? What is your purpose across 90 days? Okay. Now we're going to have just 3 steps every single day. It's going to take you 30 to 60 seconds to fill out, and you're going to stick to it as a non-negotiable. Okay. Now those 3 steps actually is number 1, how fired up are you for the day itself? Because that is a choice. We have feelings that go up and down every single day, like you said, with the clouds kind of going in front of the sunshine. Like we have days where we're super happy, super excited. We have days where we're kind of dreading it. We're not necessarily there. But you still have a choice in regards to your actions for the rest of that day. So out of 10, how fired up are you for the day? What are you actually going to choose to be for the day? Second thing, 3 non-negotiable tasks that you're going to get done that day. So most people have crazy big to-do lists and they overwhelm themselves and they kind of give themselves too much. Whereas what are the 3 most important things that you're going to get done that day as a non-negotiable, and when? So you're actually putting it in, you're holding yourself accountable to that. And then the most important thing in there is what is the number one thing that you're going to say no to today. Now, in regards to using that journal to the best of its ability, what you write down in that section, so the thing that you're going to say no to today, you need to write down the same thing every single day for 90 days to remove that bad habit out of your life. So for me personally, being honest, it was alcohol. I would probably drink 2 or 3, maybe 4 glasses of whiskey every single night after I finished work because I felt like I'd earned it. I felt like I needed it. But I knew it was holding me back the next day. It was holding me back from training, holding me back from my sleep, holding me back from my health. So for 90 days, this is why I created this, because I did this first. I said, I am not drinking alcohol every single day. Wrote that down. And I didn't drink alcohol for 90 days. And what happened? My business grew, my income grew, I lost weight, my relationships were better, my life was better, I was happier. Because I said no to the one thing that helped me. And everyone has that one thing. It doesn't have to be drugs or anything like that. It could be like takeaway apps. It could be a certain person in your life right now. It could be anything. It could be porn. It could be whatever that bad thing that you know is actually holding you back and distracting you from that mission and purpose. You have to write that down every single day. So, yeah, it's just cutting out all of the fluff, cutting out all of the bullshit that you see in a lot of journals, and just do those very, very simple steps daily, consistently for 90 days.
Okay, I like the one where it says about when are you doing a non-3 negotiables. Like I would put in there, so I'll do my morning cardio. Let's say that's 5:30, so I'll have to write it just above 6 a.m. here. But I'm doing it around 5:30 to 6. And then the other one is I'm writing a daily email, which is my new thing, because I'm giving into, so I used to label myself as dyslexic. I used to be like, well, I'm dyslexic, I can't do this, I can't do that. Now I'm like, I can do it, why can't I? My emotions don't stop me. And if I do it poorly, over time it will get really good. So that's one thing. So I'll put, write in my daily email, and I'll put one more, which I'll think of. I don't want to say it off the cuff, I want to put some thought behind it. So I think if I can send a daily email for 90 days, I think it's incredible, because I just started an email list. So like if my email list has literally got 5, 10, 20 people on it, I'm sending an email to, let's say you've got 5 people in the email list. In the beginning, you'll probably thinking, why would I send an email to 5? But if I did it for 90 days, where's that email list?
Exactly. So it cuts out all of the fluff. And in regards to using it, something that I learned quite young, I used to, back when I was at school, my mum she got me in the habit of like helping me brush my teeth. And I don't think she understood what she did, but it's always stuck in my head in regards to building habits. Back then when I was at school, you'd look like a bit of a tramp, or you'd look a bit scruffy if you went into school with your hair kind of fluffy and bedhead, etc. So back then, like, hair gel was fashionable, right, to help you look a bit more presentable. So what she actually did is she put my hair gel right next to my toothpaste in the bathroom. And what that actually did, because I already had the habit of brushing my teeth every single morning, of course, I then started to have the habit of gelling my hair and removing the bedhead before I went to school. We're talking like really young here, like maybe 5, 6, 7 years old, okay? Now, the great thing about using the journal, what I recommend is if you have your phone next to your bedside table, or you have your phone like in another room, etc., that is naturally a habit that most human beings have these days, to wake up, grab a coffee, pick up their phone. Okay?
Yeah.
So pair your habit with that. I recommend you put that journal on top of your phone. Like, cover your phone with a pen on top of it. And if you do that every single night, you'll get in the habit of filling out that journal for 30 seconds.
That's a really good hack.
Yeah, it works really well.
And so you've got this book that people can order, and what's the community after that? What did the community help you with?
Yeah, sure. So the community has certain courses that I've actually laid out to help you, the next step further, to help you with your time management, to help you condense time, to help you be as efficient as possible. Because what I really want to get across is just working smarter, especially for a lot of business owners. I've been that business owner that has worked 14, 15, 16-hour days every single day. And I think we all need a period of that, of course, but it's not something that I recommend for long term. Like what is the meaning of life? Like what should you actually be doing? What do you get fulfillment from? What do you get happiness from? And like now I'm actively talking about the fact I literally work 3 hours a day.
Good.
That's all I do now. That's all I do. But I'm still able to grow my businesses. I'm still able to help people and do the things that I wanted to do, but I'm not working those crazy hours.
Well, that goes on to something that I want to talk to you about, which is about intensity, about how some people don't know where their intensity lies. So are they a 1 out of 10 or they 10 out of 10? But I want to talk about what a 10 out of 10 intensity is and try to articulate, or even like what would be an 11 out of 10 intensity.
Yeah, of course.
So Kevin Systrom is the founder of Instagram. He founded it. And when Mark Zuckerberg wanted to buy Instagram, this is like obviously 10 plus years ago, he, at the time, he was saying no. It was like, he said no to him a few different times and he didn't want to sell it. Then what Mark did was so I think there was a battle between Instagram being bought by Twitter or being bought by Facebook. This was the thing. They were both trying to acquire, if I'm right. And as they were trying to acquire it, Twitter had given the first offer. I think it was like 200 or 300 million. And Kevin Systrom was sitting on it, and this was on a Friday, and he was thinking about it. And now it was going to be the weekend, and he was set to agree for it on Monday. So the thing was, business shuts down on the weekend, and he's set to agree for it. Mark Zuckerberg met him at his house, got him to meet, came over to his house on a Saturday, and through the weekend had convinced him. He said, I'm not going to take no for an answer. And I think he offered him $1 billion, and then he had acquired Instagram in that time. And by the time Monday came around, Twitter had lost out on that deal. So it goes around about intensity. How most people think they're working hard. Most people think they have, they're working at their full capacity.
Yes.
But that's because they've never really seen someone who works at a higher capacity. They've not seen it, so you don't know. And that's why everyone needs to check themselves like, every now and again.
Yes.
And then the same thing happened when he was trying to buy WhatsApp. And it turned out the founder of WhatsApp was also an intense guy. And Mark Zuckerberg had been messaging to try to buy WhatsApp for over 2 years, meeting the guy, taking him on hikes, taking him on dinners, and never stopped trying to buy WhatsApp. And then one day it came over the line. And then he didn't want to take no for an answer, and he acquired WhatsApp. And if you think about Zuckerberg, what he did there was he bought something off his intuition that no one knows about. Remember, there was an interview with Mark Zuckerberg a while back where a reporter asked him at a meetup, what books are you reading and what things are you watching at the moment to try to inspire you? He went, no one's done what I've done. No one's ever built digital platforms like this. I can't learn from anyone. So no one's ever innovated through tech like him. So it's totally new. Same with Steve Jobs. Who can they go and learn from? Who can tell Steve Jobs how to make iPhone when he was alive? No one. He could look at other people who have done similar things, but no one could tell him how to do that thing because he was a leader, and leaders often have to innovate, which goes back to what we were saying earlier on about looking at people and copying, because it stops your innovation.
Yes.
And the WhatsApp guy was super intense, and Zuckerberg was super intense, and they came up with this deal, and he acquired WhatsApp, and now when you look at Zuckerberg, he owns WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, or Meta now, and Instagram now is bigger and more users than Facebook. It's like the app that we all use every day. And the foresight to acquire the platform at the right price, because the valuation, he bought it at double the evaluation. He offered him $1 billion, and it wasn't evaluated at that. So incredible when you think about some people have a level of intensity, and it kind of checks you to say what level of intensity you're working at. Whether you're working for those 3 hours and you want freedom for the rest of your life, those 3 hours need to be intense. And whether, because I work longer, but I just actually work slower. So I'll be honest, I'm not the most productive, but I will work a 14-hour day because I will look at my phone 7 or 8 times throughout the day. I will just work longer. And now what I'm doing is, like, even for the last 2 weeks, I'm getting better for the time that I'm working.
Yes.
where you're doing the 3 hour a day solid focused work.
Yes, yes. And also, I think you've got to earn it. I do think you have to earn it. You can't just quit your job and start working a couple of hours a day. You got to earn that. And intensity is a really it's a great topic. And I've had so many conversations with clients over the years about intensity, and especially when they ask me about how I originally grew my coaching company, because I grew it very quickly. I grew it very, very quickly. Yes, I'd acquired the skills and acquired the lessons and the knowledge and the failures over the years. It probably took me 6-7 years of all of that. But the moment that I actually launched it grew very quickly, and that was down to intensity. And when I have conversations with clients about how many people they're trying to connect with, how many people they're trying to talk to, how many doors they're trying to knock on to make their dream a reality. When I say to them, I used to do 200-300 every single day. I used to message 200-300 people every day, every single day, 7 days a week. And they used to go, oh, wow, how do you do that? And I was like, well, because I wanted it. I wanted it to be successful. Oh, I can only get 20 people in or 10 people. You don't want it then.
Yeah.
Like you said about that aggressiveness. So Mark Zuckerberg, he wanted WhatsApp. He wanted Instagram. He wanted it, and he made it happen. And it's the people that can continuously not knock on the door, but kick the fucking door down. Like go and get it. And I suppose intensity kind of crosses paths with aggressiveness as well, in regards to how bad like you deeply want that goal and that achievement.
And you know, when it comes to your goals, like I'll be honest, every one of my family, not my work friends, so friends outside of work, they don't have goals as big as mine. Mm-hmm. And they will look at what I've achieved and they'll say really nice things. They'll say compliments, like, we're really proud of you and all these things. I'm actually, surprisingly to the internet, not surrounded by haters. I'm actually surrounded by people that root for me and support me.
Yeah,
and people who say, my friends are all hating on me, well, go get better friends then. So when the people around me don't have dreams as big as mine, mm-hmm. I've now surpassed what they thought is great to their standard. And now the only standard that I'm working at is my standard. Mm-hmm. The only standard that I have right now is the standard that I've set for myself, because everyone around me doesn't have that standard.
Yes.
So like, if I was going by what your goals are, mm-hmm. I would have stayed in the same place. I would have stayed at my job years ago.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So now my goals are just so much bigger. So I have to find the right energy mm-hmm. and find the right entrepreneurs to connect with. And what that happens is that's just far more expensive. My viral video on Instagram when I'm talking about like this 65k investment with Hormozi, mm-hmm. most people are thinking, why would you do that? There's comments on there that you can see, why would you pay that much? That's so crazy. Like, people have commented all this crazy stuff.
Because you want it.
Yeah, I want it, but also you're fixing £5,000 problems. I'm fixing £10 million problems.
Yes.
£10 million problems aren't fixed for 50p.
Yeah.
So you gotta spend the money, and you gotta be in it to win it. So if you're not spending the money, and also, what am I going to do with the money? I'm just going to sit and look at it. I'm supposed to use the money to acquire more knowledge, and with that knowledge, get more money. Because when I eventually have a business that makes 50 million, 100 million, whatever it is, whatever it lands on, mm-hmm. the next part of knowledge, when I say to a billionaire, can you teach me how to do this? He's not going to say, yeah, mate, give me 20 grand. He's going to be like, right, 100 grand.
Yeah.
Give me 100 grand and I'll show you how to do it.
Exactly. And again, like zoom out theory in regards to meditation. What is money? Like money will come and go. And I'm going to give you credit here. Going back to intensity, what we were talking about there. The reason that, and I truly believe that you choose your friendships, and I would class you as a good friend now. I would class you as a good friend. You're always someone that's always there for me, always supporting me, and likewise for me to you as well. I'm always here for you. And the reason why I connected to yourself is because you're someone I wanted to be around. And what I was seeing with yourself when we first met, you were in Marbella, you were in Thailand, you were in Australia, you were in the UK, you were flying here, there and everywhere because you had a goal and you had a mission you wanted to achieve, and you knew in that period of the start of that business that you had to connect. And that's something that just most people just won't do. They talk about the goals they want to achieve, but it takes a very special person to take action and actually go out there and do it and actually make it a reality. And there's so many people, I'm sure you know, I've spoke to a lot of them that will talk and talk and talk and talk about everything that they may want to do or potentially do. But there's a very small breed of people that talk about something and then next minute, you know, they're out there going and doing it. So your 65 grand investment is because you're making your dream a reality. You're making that happen. My journal, like, thank you for pulling that up and actually talking about this on that podcast as well, by the way. But I literally had a conversation about that after I'd been through the 90 days myself. I'd had a conversation with the publisher, got it produced and got it sent out all within 2 weeks. Like, if you want to achieve something in life, you have to take action. You can't just sit there twiddling your thumbs around a dinner table just talking about it. Go and get it. And I'm going to give you credit there because that's how we first met, and that's what I witnessed with yourself. And then there's no surprise when you say that, oh, I've got this office now, I'm employing team. I'm like, yeah, you fucking earned that. Like, you went out there and got that. Like, it's not a surprise. It's really not a surprise. So there's different types of people, there's different types of entrepreneurs when it comes to that. And yeah, being an action taker and having that intensity is incredibly important if you really want something to happen.
Yeah, 100%. And you know, thank you for the nice words. You know, you never really look at the present. You always think what's next. And like in the office now, we're always just thinking what we're achieving next. And what we're achieving next is that we have this financial goal. We have our rocks. We set like company rocks that we want to achieve. So like those are the main things that we're chasing. Like you often don't look back and think, oh, we did great last year. We did great this year. You just want to go for the next thing. But it's just constantly leveling up and moving forward towards the next thing. Because even 2 years from now, I'm not someone who thinks in a way which is like, I'm always going to work hard, I'm always going to grind, because I don't know. Maybe I'll be 45, maybe I'll be 50, and I think, you know what? Now I want to chill. I don't know. Or maybe I want to work even harder. But because you just have to go with, because 5 years ago I was different to what I am now, 5 years from now I'll be different to what I am now. So you just have to constantly flow and let yourself go wherever your mind wants to take you. I'm just not rigid in one way of thinking.
Of course. Yeah, it's important.
So Labour's in power.
I don't know. I'm not in the country anymore.
Yeah, so Labour's in power, and some people are happy, some people are sad. But what I can say is, you know, I'm one of those people, when you grow up poor, you have little faith in the government. So I actually, not too long ago, I didn't actually put this on my socials because I wasn't sure how it would come across, but I was invited to Parliament. I was invited to Parliament with, at the time it was a business minister, shadow business minister, and he ended up knowing someone, like, you know, just some mutual connection that we had. And I ended up getting invited down, and I ended up learning so much in that one meeting, because I went down to Parliament and met him, sat down, and he was talking about my business, what I'm doing, what I'm trying to accomplish. And I remember leaving that day and thinking, should I post about this online? And then I thought, well, I'm not affiliated to any party, but when I post that I've met this person, it'll affiliate me to this party.
Yeah.
And you know what that would do? That would get all the people who are opposed to the party to think ill of me. And I just thought, one way of thinking is like, well, I don't care. I'm not bothered. But at the same time, I thought, I don't want to make my Instagram and my socials all political.
No.
Because I want to be, my main mission is helping people with their businesses and their sales. If I deter from that, and simply because someone is from a different way of life, they've gone to public school or private school, and because they think differently to me, I'm now going to alienate them into thinking I'm not the right person to support you. I didn't know how to make that decision, so I left it there. But now looking back, I can think, as I go and progress, you actually want to align yourself with some values and standards that you really want to stand up with. And I'd probably say that I've not actually got it figured out. So probably over the next few years, I want to figure out, money is one goal, because you can't do anything if you don't get any money. But then after you get some money, what values do you want to stand by? Because those values that got you to make the money are probably the values that you're going to stand by after, because that's how you're going to be able to give back. Because the same values that I grew up on benefits, on a labour, when my mum was collecting child benefit, those benefits don't benefit me now when I'm a business owner who's a capitalist who's trying to earn a lot of money and pay the least amount of tax. The same benefits don't benefit me anymore. So which way do I go? Do I benefit the guy who I came from, or benefit the guy that I'm from, where I'm going? So this is something that I'm figuring out live while telling you.
Yeah, I think it's your values are really important, and it's you touched on very briefly there, but it's how you make your money as well. It all kind of stems from that. And the thing is, when it comes to the financial side of things, money's in abundance. It's being printed all the time. It's why we have inflation, right? So there's so many different ways that you can earn money. So earn the money in the way that you actually want to earn the money. Earn it with your values that you've got, your purpose that you've got, your mission that you've got. And then when it comes to you actually giving and actually providing, you can provide way more because you've aligned your entire life. You've aligned absolutely everything with what you internally feel as well. And I know that's going a little bit more sort of down the meditation route, but
we've had a camera failure, Josh.
Oh, have we?
Yeah. You can see my studio.
Oh, yeah,
but that's okay.
You dropped down now. It's fine. We've got behind the scenes of Usman.
It's okay. The studio looks good. You can see the nice lighting.
That's it.
This is how it is. This is the raw footage.
It's like behind the diary with why is his name just completely escaped me off the top of my head? Diary with Stephen Bartlett. Yeah, but like behind the diary.
Well, the guy who used to film Diary of CEO actually went to school with me very early on. I found out the guy who actually started it with him was actually his early videographer. But Josh, let's keep the conversation spicy. Let's carry on next week and let's wrap it up here. If you're interested in following Josh, you can check out his socials, which we'll put in the description below. Or you can follow me on my Instagram or my YouTube main channel. We'll be posting this on the Guided Growth podcast channel, and Josh will be repurposing this on his. It's not a podcast. We don't know what it is. One day we'll label it.
We will.
Who knows what it is right now?
Yeah.
But we'll catch you on the next one.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. Thank you.